Okay? So the first one has a negative exponent. What do we remember about negative exponents? They flip it. So 3/5 to the negative second is going to be 5/3 squared. Remember, when you flip it, your exponent becomes positive. And then we square everything. So if you put 25/9, you did the right thing. The next one is a fractional exponent, not a negative, a fraction. What do we remember about fractional exponents? Radicals. When you see a fraction and an exponent, you're immediately going to do this. And underneath is going to go 16/9. And remember, the denominator of the exponent tells you which root you're taking, and the numerator tells you which power you're raising it to. So the square root of 16, square root of 9, and since it's to the first power, nothing changes. So the answer is just 4/3. All right, is this starting to come back from yesterday's conversation? Good. Number 3 is both. It starts out as a negative exponent. So we flip it, and what does this become then? 1/100, yep. Right now, it's 100/1, so I'm gonna flip it, and it becomes 1/100 to the positive power. One more time, the exponent never flips. All right, it's this guy that flips. Okay, well, it's a fraction, so I'll do a radical. Under the radical will be 1/100. Which root am I taking?
2.
Square root, yep, second root, square root. But this time I gotta cube my answer. So I'll start with the square root. What is the square root of 1/100? 1/10? 1/10? And then I'm gonna cube that. 1 cubed is 1. Remember, 1 stays 1. So the answer is 1/1000. How about, yeah, 1/1000. Okay? All right, you do the next one, number 4. No negative this time, but you have a fractional exponent, so you know you're going to have a radical. See if you can figure out. Did you put 8/27 under the radical? Did you make a cube root squared? What's the cube root of 8? Cube root of 8 is 2. Cube root of 27 is 3. And we're squaring it, so your final answer is 4/9. Who got 4/9 all by yourself? Few of you? All right, keep working on that. All right, 5 times 4 to the negative second. Does 5 even have an exponent? No, so we're just gonna leave it as 5. But what are we gonna do with 4 to the negative second? Flip it. 4 becomes 1/4 squared. So this is 5. What is 1/4 squared? 1/16. And so I have 5/1 times 1/16. So my final answer will be 5/16. 5/16. Good job. Number 6, I don't think I'm even gonna write down. You ought to be able to just tell me what number 6 is. What's number 6? 25/64. Nothing special is happening there, right? We're just squaring everything. So 25/64. 7 is a little bit more involved. I promise if you take it one step at a time, you can do it. So we have 9/4 to the -1/2. Step 1. If you have a negative exponent, you are going to flip. So we're going to make that 4/9 to the 1/2. Then we have a fractional exponent, right? So we need to rewrite that as a radical. So this is going to be the square root of 4/9 to the first. Would you agree with that? And that is what? The square root of 4/9. That's going to be 2/3. And then since it's just to the first power, we don't even really need to change anything. We'll worry about that. All right, number 8. What do you think we should do with number 8? Cube 2. So what is 2 cubed? 8. So we have 1/2 times 8/1. 1/2 of 8 is 4, or you can work it out and get 8/2, which is 4. Don't get all messed up here. There's no negative exponent, there's no fractional exponent, so we're just going to square that. Right? Remember PEMDAS, you do exponents first. So we're going to square that, so we have 2/3 times what? 9/16. Remember, when you square a fraction, you're squaring the top and the bottom, right? Now, you can either cross cancel if you're comfortable doing that, or you can multiply straight across. If we cross cancel, 2 goes into 2 once and 16 8 times. And 3 goes into 3 once and 9 3 times. So it looks like my answer is 3/8. If you multiplied straight across, you got 18/48, which you're going to have to reduce that. 6 goes into both of those and leaves you with 3/8, the same answer. Okay, got some on the back. The quiz will not be this long. We're just doing some extra practice. Okay, so number 10, what do I do first? Flip it, absolutely, we're gonna flip it first. So that's gonna be 81/16 to the 1/2. And what does the 1/2 mean? Radical. What kind of radical? Square root. What's the square root of 81? 9. Square root of 16? 4. Answer is 9/4. Nolan, you with us here? Everything good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this one's almost exactly the same. It's 81/16 to the 3/4. Would you agree with that? But now the radical still got 81/16 underneath. But the radical this time is a 4th root cubed. I'm not giving you weird, freaky numbers. What's the 4th root of 81? 3. Because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. So the 4th root of 81 is 3. What is the 4th root of 16? 2. But don't forget, you are cubing that. So your final answer will be 27/8. All right, give the last 3 go here while I fix my attendance, which is piling up on me. So go ahead, do the last 3. Here. Maya, did you get one of these? Go ahead, do lots 3, so we can check them and get moving on in our notes. We have some important stuff to do today. I'd like to hear some answers and then we'll work through them. Is anybody comfortable with your answer to number 12? Just the answer. What do you think the answer to number 12 is? 6? We'll say 6 for now. We'll come back and work through it and check it. How about 13? Anybody got an answer to 13? What? 1/8. And how about 14? Anybody got an answer to 14? 3 halves. All right, Armani's feeling pretty confident here. Let's check and see if he got them right. Number 12 is 2/3 times 9/1. There's no negative exponents or anything tricky there. 3 squared 9. So when I multiply, I get 18/3. You guys are exactly right. So 12 is 6. 13 does have a negative exponent, not the 2, but this is going to be 1/4 squared. So that's going to be 2 times 1/16. So 2/1 times 1/16 is 2/16, which is indeed 1/8. And the last one, we have to flip it, because when the exponents are negative, we flip them. And then since it's a fraction, we'll make a radical out of it into a cube root. Cube root of 27 is 3, cube root of 8 is 2. You got a perfect paper on those 3. Good work. Tomorrow, quiz. All right, put that away. Also, don't forget canned foods if you're participating. Bring those in. All right, let's get our notes out. And we're going to section 3.2. And this is on page 25 down at the bottom. And I'm not going to have you, the book's in Canvas, but I'm not going to have you get that out. I'll just tell you the ordered pairs. Here are the 2 ordered pairs you have. This time they have decimals. We're going to use our calculators today a little bit. Your job for this problem is to write the equation of the exponential. We did this yesterday. What does an exponential look like? This is your notes, page 25, down at the bottom, section 3.2.
Y equals 2 times B.
Exactly. Y equals A times B to the X. We did these yesterday. They didn't have decimals in them, but we did them yesterday. Who remembers how we started? How did we start?
Start with the one with the 0 in
Yep,
it.
start right here. And does anybody remember the observation we made yesterday? A always equals the Y of that point.
Yep.
So you can do the work, but you don't have to. Every single time, your A is going to turn out to be that number, that Y number. All right, so far so good. Who remembers the next step? Plug in the other point. Now I have a calculator, so I'm not worried about this. Negative 4.64 equals negative 5.8. B to the first, that's X, that's Y. Isn't B to the first just B? And if I want to solve for B, aren't I just going to divide? So 4.64 divided by 5.8, I got 0.8. So my equation is Y equals negative 5.8 times 0.8 to the X. This number is always A, and then to find B, we have to plug in that other point. Okay, now I've got a harder one. Same idea. My points are 0, 3, and 4, 1.49. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'll write this equation right here. What do I know about A? It's 3. So I'm going to just jump right to this. This is really what I need to figure out. I need to figure out B. So what will I do to figure out B? Plug in this. So 1.49 equals 3B to the fourth. Now, we ran into this yesterday. How do I go about solving that? What? First I divide. So first I'm going to divide by 3. So I have 1.49 divided by 3 equals B to the fourth. I'm thinking that is not a nice thing. It's not. So I'm not gonna round it off, okay? I'm just gonna leave it. Would you agree? Divide by 3, this is what I get? So this is some weird decimal that I'm gonna let my calculator deal with. How do I get B? My job is to figure out what does B equal. Who remembers that? Because we did that yesterday too. What do? Well, I don't square root, I 4th root. So I am gonna 4th root both sides. Now yesterday, I didn't need a calculator because they worked out nicely. This is not nice, okay? So we're gonna 4th root this on our calculator. So I want you to go to your math menu, that's the math button, press the math button, and then, turn it on first, press the math button, and then, for me, it's number 5, I don't know what it is for you. You have a button that looks like this. That is your X root button. So you need to put a 4 here, and underneath you have to have 1.49 divided by 3. Now, if you have an old one like me, does anybody have the big fat old ones? You have to press 4, the 4th root. You have to press 4, then you press that button, then you press 1.49 divided by 3, and it'll work for you. So I'm going to press 4, just the number 4, and I'm going to press my button, so math, option 5, and then in parentheses, 1.49 divided by 3. You should have come up with about 0.84. It's 0.83949. Did you get about 0.84, everyone? Okay, that's how you 4th root on your calculator. You can do any root on your calculator. So that's our B. So my answer is y equals 3 times 0.84 to the x. Because B, when I 4th rooted, B turned out to be that number. Alright, if we have time, we'll practice another one, but we gotta get through a few more things today. Alright, so I'm gonna need a calculator for finance. Write an exponential function to describe an initial value of 4 increasing 11% per day. Now, I hope you were paying attention yesterday because there was a whole set of problems we did yesterday that looked like this. And the direction said, what is the initial value? Is it growth or decay? What is the percent growth or decay? So what did you say yesterday on that set of problems? What is the initial value? 5, that's the initial value. Is this growth or decay? Growth, because it's 1 plus something, and it's plus 0.07, which means it's 7% growth. Now you're doing the same thing backwards. You have an initial value of 4, and it's increasing 11%. What is that going to be? If the initial value is 4, aren't you going to put 4? And then what are you going to put in the parentheses? 1.11, because it's 11% growth. What's the second one going to be? B. 0.36. 1.22, because it's 1 plus 22. All right, what about C? Be careful. We'll start with For C, we're gonna start with 147. And what's gonna go in the parentheses? 0.9. 0.9. Why is 0.9 going in there? Because we start with 1, always start with 1. If you're decreasing, subtract. So what's 1 minus 1/10? 0.9. 1 plus 1/10 would be 1.1. Always start with 1. Add a growth, subtract a decay. Alright, see if you can figure out D. Anybody want to take a stab at what goes in that parentheses?
3.5.
What?
Is it, 3.5?
3.5? 0.35? What is the decimal for 4.5%? What is the decimal for 4.5%? That is 0.045, right? And it's a decrease. So this is gonna be 1 minus 0.045. Remember, the number in the parentheses is 1 plus the increase or 1 minus the decrease. Every time. 1 is the beginning. Add an increase, subtract a decrease. Well, what is 1 minus 0.045? 0.955? There you go. That's the answer to the question. Last one. What's gonna go in the parentheses here? 0.58. Why are we putting 0.58 in there? 1 minus 0.42. So think of it like this. If it is losing 42%, isn't it keeping 58? And this is keeping, I don't know how many we have. Okay, well now we're gonna do a couple word problems. Population of Calcville was 123,000 in the year 2000. It decreases 2.5% each year. All right, let's write like this. Let's write an equation like this for this situation. What is our initial value? 123,000. My population is decreasing. So isn't this gonna be, in here is gonna be 1 minus something? It's decreasing 2.5%. What is the decimal for 2.5%? 0.025. So the number in my parentheses, you've got a calculator. The number in the parentheses is 0.975. Did everybody follow all those steps? We had to change 2.5% into a decimal. Then we had to subtract it from 1 because our population is decreasing. If it had been increasing, we would add it to 1. All right, now we gotta answer the question. What will the population be in 2010? So here's the equation you're gonna use. Any idea how we'll find the population in 2010? plug in 10 for X. And why am I plugging in 10 for X? Because my problem started in the year 2000. So how long did I wait? 10 years. So I'm gonna put a 10 right there. I've got a calculator, I'm gonna type it in. This is a population, boys and girls. So please don't say 0.83 people. Round it off to the nearest whole person.
Do you get points off, you don't do that first step, the 1 minus?
Nope. Nope. I did that because I want everybody to understand where the numbers are coming from, but no. Did you get 95,489 people? If we round it off to the nearest whole person? Okay. All right, letter B. Go ahead and see if you can set up an equation for letter B. Pay attention to whether your population is increasing or decreasing. Yeah, there's one plus. Laz, what's your equation look like? Did you get an equation expression?
Yeah.
What's it look like?
9,876 times 1.12.
To the x, perfect. That's it. That's the equation that describes this problem. Now, what do we want to know? What is the population in 2013? So what do we do? What power do I raise this to?
7.
Make it 8. We want to raise it to the 8th. And this is another population problem, so just round it off to the nearest person. I got 24,453 people. Did you? All right. Now I want you, 3.2 homework will be due on Thursday. All right, 3.2 is due on Thursday. And now I want you to get out the exponent worksheet that I gave you. It's 2 pages. So that's exponent worksheet or exponent practice. Exponent worksheet. Now this is available to you. The answers are on the back. I want to go to page 2. And I want to practice number 1 and 2 at the top of worksheet 2. No, worksheet 2. Exponent practice number 2. So the second sheet. Number 1 says, is it exponential? What's the percentage growth of decay? What's the initial value? All right, here we go. 1A, would you say it is exponential? Yes. Because what does exponential mean? A number to the x. Growth or decay? Percentage? 3% growth, perfect. Initial value is? 3. Everybody good? Problem B. Exponential? Yep. Growth or decay? Decay. What's the percentage decay? 11%. Why? Because 0.89 is 1 minus 0.11. Right? So it's 11% decay. And the initial value is 4. C, exponential? No, cross it out, not exponential. D, exponential? Yep. Initial value is 1/5, and the percentage, growth or decay? Decay, and the percent decay is 25%. 25%. Any question on number 1? All right, number 2. Write the equation of the exponential function containing the given points. We did a couple of these a bit ago where we needed our calculator. You will not need a calculator on these. These numbers are pleasant. Okay, so we're shooting for this. When it says write the equation of the exponential function, that's what you're shooting for. Alright, see if you can get this one started. Do you remember how to do it? I know it's got a fraction, don't panic, it's all gonna come out beautifully. See if you can get it started. This is a 2-point problem on the test. Everybody's gonna get 1 point, right? Because what do we know right off the bat? A is 4. So we should all be able to write down y equals 4 times b to the x. Now, can we find b? How? 16/9 equals 4 times b squared. Now we have to solve that. Yesterday, I think, we multiplied by 9. So we have 16 equals 36b squared. We just multiplied both sides by 9. Then we divided by 36. And then what? We don't need a calculator for this. You can do this. What do we need to do here? B squared, so we're gonna need to square root, not square it, but square root it. What's the square root of 16? 4. And the square root of 36? Square root of 36? 6. Now, it turns out that actually reduces. So I'm not gonna write 4/6, I'm going to write 2/3. And then I'm not gonna forget, that's my answer. So y equals 4 times 2/3 to the x.
Are we allowed to do that for under calculator?
No, this will be a no calculator problem. Now, if we have one with the weirdo decimals like we have, that will be a calculator problem. So no calculator, you'll be given numbers like, 16 and 36. Other numbers will have to use a calculator. All right, one more and then we'll be done. Can we get the second one done, number 2B. Can I just start with y equals negative 2b to the x?
Yes.
Thank you. And then negative 18 equals negative 2b to the negative 2? Is that all right? 9 equals b to the negative 2. Does anybody know what I did? What did I do there? Divided by negative 2. Am I allowed to do that? Yeah. Now what?
Make it a fraction.
Gotta make it a fraction because that's what we do with negative exponents. So 9 equals 1 over b squared. Now what? Square root. So 3 equals 1 over b. Darn it. I'll multiply by b and divide, so b is actually 1/3. B looks out to be 1/3. All right, have a great day.
Choose the board first or class first?
What?
Choose the board first or
No, we go to class. Go to second period. Second period.